Well, my name is Kim Crowder, and currently I celebrated a recovery milestone of 20 years on January 3rd. I began drinking when I was 13, along with about 10 other classmates in a slumber party environment in Preston Forest, and 3 of us grew up to not be able to stop on our own, and I was one of them. I was blessed to grow up in Kingsport, where the city schools were, and I hope still are, very vital. So I had great teachers, youth leaders, coaches, ministers, opportunity. I went to college. It was a given that that's what I would do. I didn't experience poverty. I didn't experience lack of that sort. And so on the outside, things looked really shiny. I did experience various forms of adversity. My ACEs score is an 8. But I also had a great deal of resilience in the form, I think, of education. And then when I was on my own in college, it was a free-for-all. And so I don't think that I knew that I didn't drink like normal people until maybe my mid-20s, when people were settling down and calming down, and alcohol wasn't the center of everything for them. And I found that when I tried to stop, I couldn't. And I thought I was just bad. I thought I was just weak. Thought I maybe was undisciplined or lazy. I didn't know I was sick back then. And it took me till my late 20s and my early 30s to finally get appropriate treatment for depression, so that I could then, conquer, with a lot of help, alcoholism and addiction. We say denial is the number one symptom of mental illness and substance use disorder, alcoholism. All my outsides were really everything I'd wanted. I was married at the time, had the career I wanted at the time in higher education, the car I wanted, the condo, the vacation, the cats, the clothes, all that stuff. But I was miserable. And I thought, but I have all these things. Really sick people, true alcoholics, truly mentally ill people don't have college degrees, don't have jobs, don't have cars, don't have this. And that wasn't about the externals, right? Having all the things and all the trappings of a happy life and not being happy. So it was hard to believe that I had a problem. Well, also, I think I'll be 55 this summer. I was not raised with the idea that mental health issues were something that you spoke about. Alcohol issues were something that you spoke about. Those things were to be dealt with privately, if at all. It didn't work. It didn't work. What helped me first initially was therapy and psych meds. I understand there's a tremendous amount of stigma about medication-assisted treatment, and usually people talk about that in terms of Suboxone and methadone. Antidepressants are medication-assisted treatment too. So I owe my life to that first. And then I think to a group of people who shall remain nameless over the years, who say, you don't have to do this, just one day at a time. You don't have to do this, just here, have a cup of coffee. Let's talk about it. I also too think that my therapist taught me that the whole phenomenon of alcoholism and addiction, as well as recovery, is multidimensional: physical, mental, emotional, spiritual, social, and the like. And my coursework shows that in graduate school too. So I like it when science and spirituality come together. I needed the science to save me, right? But I also need the spirituality to keep me connected this way and this way, if that makes sense. Currently, I run a couple of groups for a firm out of Nashville. Group is the place where people learn what we call psychoeducational skills, learn about the disease, coping skills, but mostly just have a safe place to talk about what's really going on, tell the truth. So I do that a couple times a week, and then I run training classes as requested for certified peer recovery specialists. Those peers are people in long-term recovery from addiction, alcoholism, and mental illness who then work with people to let them know they're not alone. But hope is one thing sorely lacking, and I remember telling a group one day, hope is something that you can look at this, hearing other people's experience. And when I reflect on my own recovery journey, I realized that whether I truly was alone or not, I thought I was, And I think instilling hope is something that I honestly don't care what job I'm doing in recovery, as long as it's doing that. One thing that I would share with those who are struggling with addiction, alcoholism, and mental illness: don't make any apology for saving your own life. Save your own life, save it immediately, and make no apology for it, and ask for help. The help is there to be had, right? But there's this thing called pride that people like me experience that gets in the way of asking for help and then doing what's required and work hard for it. I don't mean that to sound discouraging. I didn't get sick overnight. I invested a great deal of time, money, and energy in being unwell. So it stands to reason I'm going to have to work hard to get well too. So hard work, hope, ask for help, and you don't have to do it alone.